Welcome back to KSTV. During his first 2 seasons at Kentucky, Mark Stoops has been building one of the best offensive lines in the SEC, but he lost one of his recruits yesterday when redshirt freshman Josh Croak announced that he's going to transfer out of the program. He was one of the 4 offensive linemen in the 2014 class. He redshirted last season after injuries prevented him from competing for a spot on the depth chart. He's 6'8". He's a tackle, and he was expected to see some playing time this season, but he was slowed again by an injury in the spring. The Cat's Paws is reporting that his decision to transfer was not the result of any hard feelings with the coaching staff, but rather a desire to be closer to home. He is from Niles, Ohio, and has not yet publicly commented on transferring. Tony joins us again, and the offensive line for Kentucky is, to me, the most important position. Right. And not just for Kentucky, for any team, you have to start there. They have a lot of returning guys. They have young players that Stoops has been building. No doubt, Josh Croak at 6'8", 300, whatever he was, a monster, was going to be a big part of that. But when you look at the depth of this line and what they've been building, I feel like this is a year where you're going to see, you know, in the middle of the season when you're playing those SEC games, you're getting beat up, the second unit can sustain it and can get you through those games.
Right, especially when you need to run the ball, when you're trying to maybe slow the pace down if you have the lead going into the half, trying to, ball control, and even passing the ball. Right. How many times do we see Patrick Tolles picking himself up off the ground last season?
Yeah.
So I think, the O-line is definitely the centerpiece to any football team if you're looking to score points and win games.
Yeah, and especially with this, the offense is still an air raid offense, but it's new. And so, I think a lot of times when we're talking about quarterbacks, wide receivers, running backs, we overlook the importance of that continuity and the differences in your role in different schemes with the offensive line. And so these guys, being veterans, some of them, this is going to be their 3rd offensive coordinator that they've been there for and trying to make their way through that. So this is an opportunity, I think, for this group as a whole to set the tone, to be physical, to be the leaders. Do you think a team, the leaders can be the offensive line? I know Tolles will be that guy, and they're going to count on him, but as seniors and as older guys, that can be a group that can lead even though they have a strange position?
I think they can, just because, like you said, of their importance. And if anyone knows their importance, it's anybody else on the offense, because nothing moves.
They value that.
Nothing moves without the O-line, whether it's opening holes or protecting the quarterback, giving receivers enough time to get downfield and get open. So I think, if their work ethic is the highest, if they are the toughest guys on the field, that has to trickle down. And your quarterback will love it if no one else does.
Yeah, plus if you're the meanest too, that helps. But anybody that's going to help you look good, if the offensive line makes you look good, you love those guys. Like you're making me look good tonight, Tony.
You should take me out for dinner like they do in the NFL.
Yeah, that's not happening. That is not going to happen. Now, another position Mark Stoops hopes will be a strength for the Cats next season will be the linebackers after they lost stars Bud Dupree and Zadarius Smith to the NFL. Stoops said last week's Governor's Cup Classic that he expects linebackers like Josh Force and Ryan Flanagan to step up as the leaders of the entire defense in 2015. Trayvon Pascal, Trey Dunn, and Tyler Browsey also have graduated. They have left the program, and it's opened up some possible playing time for Nebraska transfer Courtney Love, who they're hoping will be immediately eligible, as well as incoming freshman Jordan Jones and Eli Brown. They are players. There are a lot of guys. This linebacker position, Tony, is very important to what they want to do in their scheme. They've mixed it up 3-4, 4-3, all kinds of different blitz schemes. It is very important to have guys that sometimes are on the line, sometimes are in coverage, that can move around and make plays. How confident do you feel about this group as the leaders of the entire defense, as Stoops says he wants them to be?
Well, your linebackers are the quarterbacks of your defense, and it's great to have that versatility when you have guys that you can move around, constantly keeping offense guessing, keeping offense off balance, and confuse the offensive coordinator. When you have that ability to move guys around like chess pieces and maybe get a blitz here or there, maybe force a fumble, maybe get a 3rd down sack on a pass play. When you have that ability, it's so crucial, and I think these guys recognize that there is an opportunity there. The chance is there for them to make their mark on this team. So I think it can be done.
Josh Force has great instincts, and I think that's the biggest thing he has going for him. And he has great length to where he can get back in coverage. He makes up for mistakes because of his length, and he's so tall and long. And Ryan Flanagan didn't necessarily give them everything they wanted last year, but he came on strong late in the season. He had some moments in the Louisville game, but he also had some moments where Mark Stoops was about to kill him in the Louisville game. He's a player they're counting on to make those plays because the defense and what they want to do, it's all connected. You can't have one group letting you down. And so those linebackers are going to have to carry it because in the secondary, you have a secondary that has in the past let you down quite a bit and some guys that need to step up and are looking to grow this season. At cornerback, they have a lot of returning talent and experience. The only corner that the Cats lost is Nate Willis. Fred Tiller, Cody Quinn, J.D. Harmon, Blake McLean, and Kendall Randolph all return. Mark Stoops has multiple options to use in the secondary. They're going to move some of those guys around. They also have freshmen Key Beckham, Chris Westry, Derek Beatty. No telling how much they can be used and what they want to do. Kentucky was 43rd in passing defense last year in the country. Big plays were the problem, though. And over the past several seasons, the big wide receivers, as the game has changed, those are the guys that have given them issues. They look to be bigger, stronger, faster. They got more cockiness than any group on the team and have for a couple of years. What do you expect from the defensive backs this season?
Well, like you said, they're bigger, they're stronger, more physical. I expect them to jam a lot of receivers at the line of scrimmage, not to get beat down the field by so many deep balls, especially in a league like the SEC. Teams love to change that pace up from the run game to the pass game and airing it out downfield. When you have a team that hey, they can't touch our receivers, we're just going to light you up. So I think, when you make teams think about throwing on you, that opens up the run game. And if they're big enough to come downhill, back up those linebackers, and especially the safeties and DBs coming down there and making those tackles, I think that shores up the defense a lot more for UK and takes so much more pressure off your offense.
Absolutely. And I think what we saw last year is in the games where they were getting pressure on the quarterback or where they were forcing the quarterback to rush or whatever it may be, they were able to make plays. 15 interceptions. They were a playmaking group when they had the ability to break on a tip ball or had the ability to jump in a passing lane. They had that opportunity, and that was very different than what we've seen. This is Mark Stoops. He's coaching the secondary right now, and so that's his baby right there. They're going to be a nasty group. If nothing else, they're going to be confident, and they're going to be mean.